The Georgia Bulldogs have made the final five for one of the nation's top offensive line prospects in the 2021 class. What's going on, guys? Matt DeBary with Dawg Post here with my buddy Fisher, who's going to be in this video today with me. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down Micah Morris and where the Georgia Bulldogs stand in his recruitment. So let's get to it. Obviously, like I've said for a while now, Micah Morris, one of the top prospects, not only in Georgia, but in the entire country, 6'4", 300 plus pounds. And only 16 years old. I've said for a while that he is a guy probably in the state of Georgia who I think has the most potential of anyone because he is so young. But obviously the size is there. Big arms, big chest, tree trunk size legs. He's got the size to play early wherever he wants to go. Actually this size to line up and play in the SEC right now. But fundamentally and from a technical standpoint, there's still, I don't want to say a long ways to go, but there's still plenty of room for improvement. And you kind of want to see that from a young guy like this who does already have the size. So he does have a ton of potential, and the sky's the limit if he continues to work and develop and just improve his game overall. He's already a very good prospect, and he's been on the recruiting scene for feels like years now, since he was a 14-year-old kid. Still not a complete offensive lineman just yet, but when I saw him earlier this fall play against West Forsyth, he was very good, and he dominated at times. But it wasn't against great competition. But he does play against really good competition week in and week out at Camden County. So definitely a top prospect to keep an eye on. Again, if he continues to improve, he's already a top 100 kid in the country. He could make his way into that top 50 by the year's end. But a guy who gets better every single day. Again, he has the size, just needs to work on that footwork, work on the fundamentals, try to make sure he can handle those speedy outside linebacker defensive ends in pass protection. He can maul you in the run game, and he's a top target for not only Georgia but for a lot of schools across the South. He released his top five yesterday, which was Tuesday earlier this week. It consisted of Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, and Florida State. And if you're a Georgia fan, you've got to be feeling like the Bulldogs are in a pretty good spot here. Morris was set to announce his commitment in December. I believe it was December 17th. He was ready to make a decision, and that was before multiple coaching changes across the country, including Georgia losing offensive line coach Sam Pittman to Arkansas. And once that happened, Micah thought he'd like to step back a little bit, take his time, meet the new coaches, and then make a decision later. And I believe he still wants to make a decision later this summer. But for now, he does have that top five. Alabama was the team he grew up watching. They were his favorite team. South Carolina has probably been the team recruiting him the hardest of any school in the country. They offered very early in the process and has kept on pushing for him ever since. Florida's a team he's visited multiple times. He's one of their top offensive line prospects. And then, of course, Florida State just needs bodies. They need talent in there to rebuild that program, which is just in complete disarray. Like right now, they could offer him some early playing time that maybe some of these other schools can't. But if you're Georgia and Matt Luke, you took 6 offensive linemen, I believe, in the 2020 class. So numbers are going to be very tight for this 21 group. They're very high on Amarius Mims, the 5-star out of Bleckley County, one of the top overall prospects in the country. Terrence Ferguson is a big target down at Peach County. That's Georgia Bulldog country. And then, of course, Dylan Fairchild up here in Forsyth County is also a big target on the offensive line. So of all those guys, I think Micah Morris is probably the one who might sign elsewhere other than Georgia. But he did tell me he's got a really good relationship with new offensive line coach Matt Luke. He was in Athens for a junior day visit. I believe it was February 1st or March 1st. I forgot when that visit to Georgia was. It was February 1st. So they are familiar with the Georgia staff, especially Matt Luke now. They've always known Kirby, and the Morris family has been in Athens a lot of times. They're very comfortable with that aspect, but he told me he does have a good relationship with Matt Luke now. So if you're a Georgia fan, you've got to be feeling pretty good there. But this is no slam dunk. I think all these teams are still firmly in the mix. I do think South Carolina is probably the sleeper school here. They've been recruiting him so hard, as is Florida. So of all those guys, like I said earlier, I think Micah Morris might be the one who doesn't sign with Georgia, but right now they're in that top 5. They're in his top group. He likes Georgia a lot. Obviously, he's been there many times. So the Bulldogs are in this race. I was told that he was planning to take his official visit to Georgia in the middle of June. I think it was June 17th was the tentative date for them to take that official visit to Georgia due to the coronavirus. Obviously, those plans are up in the air, as are all of his other visit plans. So we'll see how things go there. He does want to make a decision this summer, so definitely a guy to keep an eye on there. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you stay tuned to the next video I've got coming up right here, where I talk about Kirby Smart and his plan to lock down the state of Georgia in the 2021 class. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.